Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the big nothing burger in the market today, what you could do to plan for the week, our game plan in Forex, as well as our psychological toxicity for our anniversary episode number 50. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. We're going to be talking about our anniversary episode. Yeah, we made it. Literally, this is our 50th episode. We just started. So I guess we've been doing this for 10 weeks already since we're doing 5 episodes a week. And I hope you guys are enjoying it and are finding value on it. And I am going to take a little bit of this episode again to talk a little about psychology and cleaning the toxicity and how to really change yourself as a trader for the positive. And you have to realize this isn't just a show about, traders who lose money and need to make money. It's including them, but it's also about traders who make money and want to make more money. And that was one of my I'll admit, one of my biggest egotistical blunders. Because when I started trading, my first year I made 1.1 million and I was like, wow, I'm the man. This is so easy. Trading, I really get it. This is a really great job. And you thought it was going to last forever. And then I blasted my money away silly on all sorts of things from fine dining to all these other extravagance. And then I realized, you know what? Trading changed. We went from fractions to decimals. Everything changed. There were no more SOS orders and select net orders. Remember those things? And everything changed. And then I realized, wow, I got to really evolve. And then I was still making money. I could make my couple hundred, my 300,000 a year, which was good for me at the time. And then I had a year where I made like 35,000 back in like 2003. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? This is about really getting you to that next level. This is about improving you, regardless of where you are. And I think the real proof comes when I have traders who are making more money than me, who are managing very large funds, very large accounts, and they literally tell me how much our room, our Newsbeat live room, and how the Newsbeat show here really helps get them to that next level. That's how I know I'm really doing something good. If I told you the testimonials that we actually get from a lot of these hedge fund managers, they're staggering. They talk about, being able to make like 8% a year on their money and then going up to like 14% a year on their money. But, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're managing a $100 million account, it is absolutely tremendous. So we do get a lot of those positive things here. I know that these are the things that help me make more money in the market as well. And I've been doing, better than I ever have been in the past couple years. And this is just really my journey, how I literally figured out ways to improve and literally trying to share those with you because there's so many things out there that just don't work. Believe me, I get it. There's so many things out there that don't work. And there are traders out there who want, they like the cowboy type mentality where, all right, I'm coming in, and this goes actually for a lot of traders with larger accounts. Believe it or not, they like to come in. New traders with larger accounts, like you'll usually find like retiring doctors or neurosurgeons or lawyers is a very popular one. And they work their life, they have money, and they want to trade. They want to retire and they want to trade. It gives them more freedom. It's a very logical transition, and a lot of them are looking at the market and they're like, yo, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to waste time, because when they were a doctor, when they were a lawyer, their time was very valuable. They would spend their time, they would have book schedules, they would be doing things that would really get them to that next level. So we're going to share a lot of these things, and I want to talk to you about something. This is really, I'm creating my masterpiece right now. I literally put together hundreds and hundreds of pages of throughout. Whew, wow, I've been doing this since 2006. So over the last 12 years, let's say, I've been doing a collection of things, putting together things to really complete my masterpiece book. And what I did is, it's a little over 1,100 pages. And the problem is, every time the market evolves or change, I have to go back in the book and change things. So what I'm actually doing is, I'm gonna cut all the. I'm tired of these courses out there that are just literally they'll try to teach you technical analysis, which is great, and then that's it. And then you wonder why the majority of the people who take that course fail. The truth is, there are secrets in trading that good traders do not like to share. They don't know how to share. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? What do you do when you wake up in the morning? Oh, me, whatever. Maybe you shower, maybe you don't. Maybe you brush your teeth in the morning, maybe you don't. Maybe you go down and you get your croissant with egg, cheese, bacon, ketchup, salt, pepper, and is that delicious? And maybe that's what you have for breakfast. I'm literally going to take you on a journey that's going to literally enable you to do everything I do. I'm sharing the softwares I'm using. I'm sharing my setups, how you could set up your software exactly like me, because I literally optimize it. You know, it's so funny when people get trading softwares out there and they literally just throw them in your lap and say, here you go, here's the same trading software I use. You ever walk around the table? You ever see a bunch of traders using the same software and everybody's screen looks differently? You know who's the most qualified person in the world to design a layout meant for trading efficiency? Professional gamers. Professional gamers respect something what's called APM, or actions per minute. Now, as a world-class StarCraft player, I do understand the power of doing as few actions as possible to get something done. I'll give you an example. If you are inside a car and you see the light turn from green to yellow to red, how fast do you want to react on your brake pedal? How fast if you are 10 feet away from that red light? How fast do you want to press the brake pedal and press another button and then change your shift and then pull back your seat and then turn on your windshield wipers to stop your car? Of course you're not. Of course not, right? You would never want to do that. I hope you would never want to do that. You want to just push your foot down right on the brake and your car stops. The same mentality goes for trading. Softwares need to be designed to allow the fewest actions per minute in order to accomplish something. There's a test that I created where I call it, and I love using my test example stock as XYZ because there is no stock called XYZ. And I say, all right, guys, if I told you to buy XYZ calls, the closest option, the closest one out of the money, how fast would you do it? Right now, buy XYZ calls. And you get a number of answers. And people are asked, Mark, how fast would you do it? And I'm like, less than 2 seconds. Less. Maybe a second, maybe less than a second. If I was looking up, I'm a broadcaster, so it takes me a little longer. If I was focused, less than a second. 1,000, I'm already in. Like that. So nobody really talked about there's proper ways to set up your software. When you need to buy something, you need to buy something. When you need to sell something, you need to sell something. And that's very important for intraday traders. If you're swinging, if you want to hold things for days, weeks, months, not so important. But the thing is, a lot of you traders out there like trading on the intraday. If you want to trade on the intraday with the big boys, you need speed. I'm going to share that with you. Not only am I going to share that with you, I'm going to give you a layout designed by a professional gamer or an ex-professional gamer. I used to play Street Fighter, a game called Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition in the arcade, and I fell in love with that game, and I ended up being the world champion in it. And I won over 15 arcade machines, I think like 16 or 17. Honestly, I lost count. Because I would just I would go to a tournament, I would win it, and I would just sell the machine to someone because I was a little 16-year-old pisher at the time. And if I brought those machines home, my mom would kill me. She allowed me to have one. You think I'm going to do? Set up a little arcade in my mom's house? So I design all these things for efficiency. I design these softwares for efficiency, to make less mistakes, to be as quick as possible, and to be efficient. That is something nobody out there talks about. It is very important if you're trading on intraday names. If you're swinging, again, semi important, but not as important. So let's just wrap it up, and I'm going to dedicate this anniversary issue of the Newsbeat show into how you can actually clean your toxicity in your head, and it makes you a better trader. If I told you, I know people who did nothing for their trading and their strategy but just changed their diet, and I'm not saying they were even eating healthy. They were just adding healthy things to the garbage that they were eating. Like some people, they just look, I'm having my bacon cheeseburger with fries. You're not going to say anything about it. I'm like, okay. How about you eat it after you're done trading instead of for lunch? Why don't you eat it for dinner? And like literally doing things like that has an exponential effect on your P&L. It's actually kind of amazing. Yeah, Joe, we're going to go over that. I'm going to go over that. So let's real quick just wrap it up so I could go into the psychological toxicity nothing burger. We have an inside candle. Last time we did this, ladies and gentlemen, was March 20th. Trading was not so sexy on March 20th. Then we put in this engulfing bar and we plummeted and we popped and we plummeted. The market's going to move here in a major way because to have 64 million shares in the queues today with volume digesting, meaning it's heading lower, is a very powerful thing. So one of two things happens tomorrow. We either do less than 64 million or more than 64 million. If we do less, we probably remain within this range, meaning we probably will not break Monday's high or low in the triple Qs. However, if we start leaning down, that is the key here. If we start leaning down and we start breaking today's low of like 154.44, these Qs could get to like 152 and change, and I am going to be such a buyer in this market. I am going long, long, long at that point. We're in a lot of setups today. I am not embarrassed at all. I think I made $100 today trading, and I have no embarrassments or qualms admitting that. Just like I have no embarrassments or qualms admitting when I make 40, 50,000 in a day. Like it's just the type of day. There weren't a lot of setups I like. I was very clear in the morning. I was like, guys, I don't like any of these setups. This is all in the pre-market. I don't like anything today. I might not even do a bunch of trades today. I might not. I think I called a Tesla small pop bottom, and I think I lost $50 on LFIN, and that was like my day. And the overnights we took work, the overnight long and win and whatever, OLED. So nothing happening exciting with the market today. I don't want to come to you and be like, oh, we called this. The truth is I didn't. And I was sort of just leaning back today, letting the market digest. And I know it's going to come with a myriad of news flow. So pretty excited about what's coming up. Not really excited about what happens today, or happened today rather, in the market, and I'm the first to admit that. Next is what are we watching on our game plan, and I'm watching a little stock Cassie. I was trying to get into it before the close, as you guys in the room already know, and it didn't pull back to a level I wanted, and unfortunately it's gapping up after hours to 695, so this was actually a big winner. But I got something beautiful for you guys. Here's a weekly chart of CASI. I got an algorithmic trigger of $7.02 going back to the second week of December 2010, and a break of 702 gets you 844. It is a powerful trigger. You might be able to watch it in the pre-market tomorrow. It's actually still tradable right now. I guess the market really closes in 16 minutes in terms of post-hours, post-market trading. I think this stock is going to get through 702 tomorrow. I think this stock can potentially explode. Hence, it's on my game plan with my A plus trigger. I could even clarify that, just bullish A plus trigger at $7.02. Next on my radar is my Forex trades, and we're going to just share with you my live Forex trades. We actually caught a fill. We caught a fill right over here on Euro, Great Britain, Pound. So we're long one name right now. So keep in mind that's not a new order. That's an order from the other day that got filled. And I have two new orders that I placed here today, which is underneath the gray line. And you could just see simple buy limit, four standard lots each. Canadian yen, euro, Norwegian krone. Here are my bid prices on each of them. Here's SL is stop loss on each of them. TP is take profit on both of them. And that's what I'm watching here. So, why don't we get to the fun part where I'm actually going to try and help you. So, I do want to talk a little bit about my course because what happened a couple years ago was I don't do these training courses often. They're not going to be something that's going to be spammed in your email box every other week. The last time I did it was 2 years ago. There was a problem. I'll tell you, I mean, see, like I tell you when there's a problem. The problem was that too many people who were not members of the room signed up for it. I think it was like a $1,500 course at the time or 2000. I don't remember. But basically you're going to get the same course with a lot more information and even better designed for a third or a quarter of the price, depending on how much it was. See, I even forgot the price point 2 years ago, and I actually took that course. I actually rearranged it, added probably four times as much information, and even made it better, and I'm making it cheaper. Because the way I see it is this: if we're giving money to charity here, and we're trying to give all these proceeds to charity, the whole point is to get as many people doing these good karma things as possible. So here was the problem that happened last time. The problem that happened last time when we ran the course was there was a third to half of the room. I don't remember the exact number, but there's about a third to half of the room who couldn't get in the live course. And it created frustration because the marketing went out and there were, and the class filled up. It was an extremely successful event, but the class filled up and there was just not enough people to give the live access to. So what I did to remedy that this time is I'm giving people in the room, our faithful YouTube and Facebook followers who watch this show and enjoy the value we bring, to get access to the live part. And again, and I keep telling you the reason is very simple. If we have 500 people sign up and all 500 people are taking the live course, I'm going to stop throughout the course several times and say, are there any questions I can answer for you guys? And if I have 500 people asking me questions, it's, a 6-hour event's going to turn into a 30-hour event, because just to get to everyone's question is just physically impossible as a human being. I'm running this whole thing myself. But there will be recordings for those people and whatnot. You probably haven't even seen the marketing yet or any of the emails that come to you from T3 about this course. And that's because I got the link early, because I want people who want to be part of the live part of the course to have access. The truth is, it's not the biggest deal in the world whether you take it live or not. The same value will be there. Just some people like to watch it live. I think what it's sort of like. You ever go on YouTube and you type in a concert, and then you could say, "Oh, I was at that concert this many years ago," and then you're watching it on TV, and on YouTube if you have a smart television, and you're watching the concert, and it's very enjoyable. You enjoy the music. You're in the comfort of your own, on your own couch. You're eating whatever you want to eat. You're drinking whatever you want to drink, and you're enjoying the concert. And then, you could have actually been there at the concert. The truth is they're both extremely valuable events. The truth is that's why pay-per-view is so successful. Whether, if there's a UFC fight and you watch it on TV, they still charge you just as much money for the UFC event on pay-per-view as if you were to actually buy a ticket and attend the event live. So it's just one of those things. So inside the description, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there is a link to the course, and we are filling up on the live spots rather quickly. And let me just tell you about the psychological toxicity. We're going to go, through a lot of that today. But first, I just want to say that this course is my masterpiece. This course is my masterpiece. I don't talk like that. I know I don't. I am putting everything I have into this course, sharing downloadable parts of my layouts, sharing exactly how I do things, breaking down reading news into a science, breaking down diets that are good for your mood and your health and your brain so you could trade effectively. The difference is how to trade intraday effectively, how to trade overnight effectively, fundamental analysis, how to pick the best stocks to swing. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I am putting myself out there. There's not going to be one aspect of my entire curriculum that's not covered. In terms of people asking, is there going to be something like trend lines in it? There will. It's not going to be in depth like a trend line course for just this one instance. I'm not going to spend 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours going over trend lines, but there will be a little bit of it. But the whole point is, if you want everything that I offer, everything that I do, everything that makes me successful, it's literally a journey of me sharing with you. The course starts out with what I do when I wake up in the morning. Like when I wake up, what's the first thing I do? All the way until when do I shut off my computer? So if you're interested in that, there will be a link in the description. Let's get into our anniversary episode, number 50 of Cleaning Psychological Toxicity. Many traders tell me that they're able to trade when they first started, but the more experience you gained, things got worse. That's one of the funniest things that nobody really talks about, that when you were first trading, things were fine, things were fine and you're doing okay. But then the more experience you got in the market, the worse things got for your trading account. Your P&L went down. And trading is perhaps the only business in the world in which increased knowledge and experience can work against you. I like to point out that the initial thoughts and psychologies of traders really makes us fearless. In that fearless state, we actually, believe it or not, trade much better than if we were afraid, even though we have less objective knowledge about the market and about what we're doing. And when it comes to learning how to trade, you're going to make errors. They're going to cause you pain. And you may not remember the details of those painful experiences. You may not remember a loss you took 2 years ago, or a year ago, or maybe even a week ago, of how you felt. But there is that part of your brain in which I always refer to that does remember. And that, of course, is this amygdala. It's about the size of an almond. It's about the size of an almond, but it stores details about everything that has ever hurt you and tries to avoid these things in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, through my course, I'm going to be taking scientific novels and journals and information and literally teach you how to clear your amygdala. We're talking about improving brain health, which is one of the most important reasons why 1,000 traders take a course and 40 of them become good traders and 960 of them fail. And out of the 960 who fail, some of them are ex-doctors, engineers, lawyers, pilots, some of the most disciplined, smartest people in the world. So I'm actually tackling this approach of psychological toxicity. Losses have more of an impact on your amygdala than wins. In fact, it does not register wins at all. Your amygdala only stores the bad things that you have ever done. It only registers things that hurt. How many of you guys here were making money earlier in your career as a trader and you traded many years ago, and now you're having a ton of problems? You ever take out the garbage? You ever take out the trash? It's like a computer. You get a new computer, everything is running smooth, everything is quick, you double click, it opens, it responds, it's great, but a year later, what happens? Nothing changed. You didn't change the hardware. What happened? All of a sudden, your computer's running slower. The same thing is like your brain, ladies and gentlemen. Your amygdala starts storing all these negative things that have happened throughout your trading, and it literally, nobody ever told you how to take out the garbage. I hate to make it sound so simple. It isn't. There's scientific journals and studies that I have read. I am taking the information from the most brilliant minds on the planet and applying it to your trading. And that's what I'm going to do for you. That is one minor aspect of the course if you want to know how involved we're getting. Yes, there is full technical analysis as well from everything I use. So gradually, the amygdala adds emotional color to your trading experience in the form of fear. That's actually how it's starting. There was a study in China showing the brain scans and the chemical concoctions that your brain releases through your bodies through traders, and they literally realized that it's the same complex concoction mixture of neurochemicals that are being released to your body as if if you were afraid, if you were going in a dark room with the axe murderer next door, right? It's the same type of thing. So literally, your losses are making you more fearful. And gradually, you become subtly afraid of the setups you used to take, even if you consciously decide that you still want to take them. Each time a setup occurs, you'll either miss it entirely or think of a reason why you should not take it, because your amygdala is affecting the decision of your body. What if there was a way where this type of conditioning could be reversed? What if there was a way that I could help you reverse aversive thoughts and processes and literally help you condition your mind better? Job number one for traders is to literally have a corrective, aversive conditioning process. That is going to be one of the big things that you need to do. And then, of course, things like that, they're going to cause self-sabotage. You know, almost every single person, 100% of you, do not have a deep-seated desire to remain stuck or fail. You all want to succeed. It's toxic stress. It's psychological toxicity, as I coined the phrase. And simply put, trading stresses you. It stresses us out. It does. Stress leads to a cluster of these natural defensive reactions that bias us to avoid precisely those risky, quote unquote, situations that actually present the greatest possibility for monetary reward, and to seek out seemingly safe situations that actually offer the least chance of gain. That is why trading to avoid risk produces diminishing returns or worse. If you're trading to avoid risk, that's why you suffer from diminishing returns. Why do you think, ladies and gentlemen, I come to you and I'm like, people ask me, what's your stop loss? And I'm like, 100% of my money. Why? Because I'm in options. Oh, Mark, you threw $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $1,500, whatever it is, at an option trade? What are you looking to lose? Well, what is your risk? 100% of your position. That's always your risk. The problem with most traders are trading not to lose. You get in situations where you're taught, well, you risk one to make two. You risk one to make three. You risk one to make 2.5. You may risk one to make 1.5. And then mathematically, it sounds fine. The funny thing is, any trader who talks like that I have met in my 19-year career actually does no analysis. They don't know how often they will be right. Talk to the best traders and they will probably, if they did analysis, they probably lose more than 50% of the time. And that's what destroys them in the long run, and that's why traders burn out. That's why they burn out, because consistency is more important than anything. I would rather make $25,000 a month consistently, averaging $1,000, $1,200 a day, whatever it is, than make $100,000 in a month while making 30, losing 20, making 40, losing 40, making 50, losing 30. I know traders like that, and they swing like crazy. And those traders are a wreck, and those traders burn out. Those are the traders that burn out. So when I trade to win. I trade to be right. I don't trade based on a stop loss. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of traders do. When you take a trade, they tell you, know where your stop is ahead of time. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Wrong. Traders who talk like that, show me how much money you made in the past 2 years. Show me how much money you made in the past 3 years. Show me how much money you made in the past 2 months. Because I guarantee you it's nothing, very little, or you're negative. Okay? I hate people who talk things that try to make sense, but they can't apply it themselves. They can't apply it themselves. That's garbage. That is absolute and utter garbage. You want me to show you the best traders in the world? You know what they don't have in a lot of their trades? Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. But you know what they don't have 100% of the time? A stop loss. And that is the first thing they teach you in trading and risk management. I'm going to teach you risk management like it's never been showed before. I'm going to show you how you can take real risk management and actually make a living off of it. And I'm going to show you how to do it with stocks. I'm going to show you how to do it with options. And yes, you will still need stop losses in certain scenarios. But deciding where your stop loss is before you buy is 99% of the time the losing bet. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it as a successful trader. I'll repeat it because you're taught otherwise on every single step on Wall Street where you turn. I'll repeat it again. You want a talking head to fill your head with nonsense because it sounds good? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I have a stop loss. Yeah. Why is everybody in your firm bleeding out? Why is your firm hemorrhaging? Why is 85% of your firm losing money? Why is 95% of your firm losing money? Why is 75% of your firm losing money? Because you're teaching people garbage. And I'm sick of it. And that is the point of my course. I am actually going to show you, and again, I don't want to allude to my course. I'm going to bring you value right now whether you take my course or not. Okay? I was just pointing out that that's why I created the course. So what you're doing wrong is you see a stock, you buy it, you know where your stop loss is, you know where your take profit is. Sounds great. Sounds great, right? Really sounds great. There are so many flaws to that strategy. There are so many flaws to that strategy. I don't even know where to begin. A strategy like that, you're going to get stopped out on the majority of your trades. Raise your hand right now if you're a trader who takes a 1 to 3 risk reward, meaning you risk 1 and you try to make 3. What percentage of your trades do you get stopped out in? What percentage of your trades do you get stopped out in? I'd love to know. 60, 75%, 80%, maybe more? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because there are certain levels in trading where doing a risk reward of 1 to 3 makes no sense. There's scenarios that I have found in the market where you risk 1 and you make 10. And yeah, they're viable and it comes up every so often. The reason why traders talk like this, and the reason why, not real traders, but why educators, excuse my language, I almost compared a mechanic to a race car driver. The reason why educators talk like this is because it was what they were taught and they couldn't make sense of it. So they learn it and then they teach it down. And then someone else learns it and they don't understand why it's not working. So when I tell you that entry is paramount on your trades, where you buy or where you short is paramount to making money as a trader. Nothing else works that I have ever seen. Look, if you're looking to make a 50-point move in Amazon and you're risking 15 points, that's okay. But here's the bottom line. If you've noticed, even to this point, when I take a trade, it usually goes up right away. Now, a lot of times the market will go sideways and the stock will continue up, or a lot of times the market will just bounce just a little and the stock will just bottom out there for the day, or sometimes the market will be plummeting down or falling down or moving down or whatever, however you want to paraphrase that word, and you'll pop a little and go down. But let me ask you a question. Have you noticed that every time I go in the room and I'm like, guys, I'm buying something here, it usually goes up? And now I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, ah, Mark, there's so many hedge fund managers and all these people here and blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what you're thinking. That, oh, well, if people follow you, it's moving the market. Well, yes, there are big traders who follow me, but let me explain to you why that's not the case. Take the spiders yesterday. Take the spiders yesterday. Take the spiders yesterday. You notice something about that? This is where we called our long. Here, I'll draw it out for you. This is where we said the spiders yesterday could bottom out for the day. And we even walked in today with spider calls. If you watch our previous episode of the Newsbeat show, it'll happen. So I'm going to draw it out for you on a chart because you just need to see why this is a paramount thing. That is on that right there is where we bought the spiders. Right at those levels, right above the day low. And you know when we were talking about it, we were setting up the entire day. We mentioned that level in the pre-market. We mentioned it as it was approaching. When it actually did hit, I was setting up. I was like, guys, I'm ready to buy spider calls if we flush through 255. And it did, and we bought it. Now, this is an example of a trade that works. Not 100% of what I do works, but the majority of what I do works. And let me tell you, the difference between you understanding this, there are a lot of traders who would maybe not make as much money as they should on a move like this. And we actually took spider calls overnight. I actually sold them this morning, and I maybe could have made more money. I sold them. I sold the last quarter of my spider calls like right around there. And then it went down further after I sold it, and then it went up. But are you really telling me that it's because there are hedge fund managers and whatever and big traders that follow my room that I was able to call the bottom and the spiders with 186 million volume yesterday? Is that what you're like really insinuating? Of course you're not. Of course you're not. We're not moving the market. We're predicting robotic algorithmic activity where robots are going to buy before they buy. You can't be faster than a robot. You can't run to the bar quicker in order to drink faster than the robot, but you could be at the bar 2 hours before the robot arrives, and you could already be tipsy on happy hour before they even step foot through the door. That is what I am telling you, and that is exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do. So anybody who's telling you certain things don't work in the market. Really? Everything works in the market. Every form of technical analysis works. Fibonacci, a million things that are not here. Here it is. Things I've never heard of work. A Kopach curve. I'm sure there's people making money off that. An ease of movement, an elder ray bear power. I don't even know what. I can't even pronounce half these things, and I was born in this country. A Klinger volume oscillator histogram. Yeah, say that 3 times fast, and I'll give you a cookie. All these things work. The question is, can you find enough technical parameters and put them together in harmony with each other where you can, over 50% of the time, accurately call a bottom or top for an entry? That is the whole goal of making money on an intraday market. Can you call the bottom? Can you call the top? Now, so many traders out there and so many people will tell you you're wasting your time. You can't call a top or bottom in this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't. Bull. You know what? So how am I doing it? How are we doing it so often? Why do you watch these Newsbeat shows and you always hear, call on the bottom of this, call on the bottom? Do I always do it? No. But I do it frequently enough where there's something there. There's something there to it that you know there's something there. I'm going to teach you what that is. So when it comes to this market and somebody is telling you it's their way or the highway, somebody comes to you and they're saying none of the other stuff works out there but my stuff, they are lying to you. And they're crappy traders as well. By crappy traders, I mean, they might be good people. They might be lovely people. People I'd want to have over my house for dinner. But they couldn't trade their way out of a urine-soaked brown paper bag. That's what I'm saying. Because the fact remains, everything works. Things that I'm not using work effectively. Everything works because there are traders. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of traders, and there are people who are making these things work. And take it from somebody who has been helping custom algorithmic strategies for a number of years for some of the top firms on the planet. The top firms in the planet. Take it from me, they are using every single one of these technical indicators. You know what happened in 2016? You know how many days Goldman Sachs lost money in 2016 with their black boxes using all these forms of technical analysis? Did you guess zero? You are correct. 0 days of trading losses. You think Goldman Sachs makes money by being great advisors? Oh yeah, we upgrade this stock. They rarely up and downgrade names, to be honest, Goldman Sachs. Sometimes they do, and they're great analysts. I'm not saying anything with that. But don't think that 95% of the money they make isn't done through black boxes using moving averages and things like that. Don't think that for 1 second. If trading was simple, where anybody can look at it and piece it together, 95% of people wouldn't lose money. If understanding that a stock was strong only after it broke out of a candlestick formation, only after it was above a moving average resistance for the first time, if that was the only time you were able to tell a stock was strong, you're putting yourself in a losing situation. Because what happens there is you weren't the first person to buy. There was someone who was buying a lot lower than you, and now you're hoping that there's still going to be enough buyers to push that stock forward. Now you're dealing with a coin flip situation. In order to trade effectively on the intraday, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be able to call intraday tops and bottoms. I don't care even if you're not calling the day low, but maybe the stock is in the middle of the range and it's moving up and down. But when it moves down, you have to predict when it's going to bounce. If it's moving up, you have to predict when it's going to move down if you want to short it. That is what's going to make you consistent. I'm not saying you can't make money chasing things through day lows. What I am saying is you're not going to succeed as a trader in the long run if you do that. That's all I'm saying. And unfortunately, the biggest problem for your amygdala is there's a reward center of your brain as well, besides for the amygdala. And what happens is you bought something through day highs one day, and it kept going and going and going. You had that really good feeling, and your brain wanted more. Your brain wanted more. And then all of a sudden, another stock goes through day high, you buy it again, and that's the one that fell down, and you lose money, and you give back what you made, and you're like, oh, what happened? And now your amygdala and the reward center of your brain are at war with each other, and you don't know what to do. And you know what that leads to all of a sudden? Now all of a sudden you're doing stupid trades. How many of you are in trades and you're like, I shouldn't be in this trade? You're telling yourself that either out loud or inside your head. You're like, I shouldn't be in this trade right now. This is a mistake. But you're in it. We're going to fix that. So, wow. I mean, I'm really taking this Newsbeat show number 50 well, right? So, how do you know you suffer from psychological toxicity? How about if I gave you 7 things? 7 things. If you suffer from one of these things, you suffer from psychological toxicity. Now, there's different. It's almost like it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Some people suffer from it harder than others. Some people jump higher than others, and that's why I'm a stock radio broadcaster as opposed to an NBA player. But the simple 7 things are: you hesitate to enter when and where your plan calls for an entry. That's 1. 2, you chase trades causing you to buy high and sell low, which we just discussed. 3, you get out of trades first too early instead of letting the winners run. That's what I suffer from a little bit. That's a little bit of what I suffer from. I could let my winners run, but not 100% of my position. I usually let a third of it run or a quarter of it run. I'm bad at holding 100% of my position. That's something I suffer from, see? You let winners turn into losers, and you hold losers too long. Your emotions get the better of you at the worst possible times. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking to whatever you believe in that's up in the sky or wherever it may be, and you're in a trade, you messed up. All right? You try to follow a plan, but you actually act impulsively or you freeze. That's because you haven't taken out the garbage in your brain. I'm going to teach you literally how to detoxify your brain. That is going to be one of the major things for the course. You know, things like this, everybody always tells me, this stuff doesn't sell. You need something easy and simple that sells, because easy and simple sells. I could show you a simple strategy, and that's what they want to promote because that's what people are going to sign up for. You know, we all know these little gimmicks don't work. We all know trading is a little more complex than that. And I'm banking on the fact that people understand it by this point in their lives and they really want to be successful and make money. That's why we're not talking. You notice how often we really talked about the NCAA in our room since March Madness started? We didn't talk about it at all. You notice that? We take trading seriously. And the last thing is your trading takes on this desperate quality as you try to make back losses, where your account is down X amount of money, 5,000, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, 500,000, 3 million. Like somebody who joined our room, it was down $3 million in their account when they came in. Through several accounts, actually. Not one account. So, these are the common things that traders suffer through. And what I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, I have suffered through the majority of those things in my life. And I thought trading was easy. I came from a time back in '99 where a stock like Yahoo sometimes had a $2 bid and offer spread. There was a bid in Yahoo at like $400, and there was an offer in Yahoo at like $402. Literally. And then you would look at the print box and they would be printing $400 and printing $402 while the bid and offer sat there. So I would just literally go on the bid, get filled at 400, go on the offer, sell at 402. I made 2 points. Wow, I did that with 500 shares. That was a quick $1,000. And I would do that all day. And I would make tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars a day. I had 99 straight days in a row of up days. It was the stupidest, easiest thing in the world to make money. And I thought trading would always be like that. And then it caught me by surprise, and it changed and evolved. You see, the funny thing is, traders who were like floor brokers and traders who were traders for a long time, they talk about how I made $20 million, how I made $10 million, how I worked on the New York Stock Exchange, how I did this and made millions of dollars. But every strategy they're talking about for how they accomplish that is long extinct. It's like me coming to you and saying, the fastest way to get to work is to jump on a Tyrannosaurus Rex and ride him to work. That's the fastest way. And you'd be like, huh? Are you crazy? That's like what these traders sound like, who tell you about their success stories from 20 years ago or more. Trading has changed. You have to evolve. You have to change. So what happens is a lot of these dinosaurs, as I call them, these dinosaurs, these trader dinosaurs, they become educators, they become all sorts of roles in trading, but the one thing they don't do well is trade. And that's why you have to be careful. And I say that with love because there are firms out there, several firms out there, in which people lose exponential amounts of money. And yes, trading is a job where you'll always have winners and you'll always have losers, but there is a way to ensure that the highest percentage of people make the most money possible. That is why the Newsbeat Live Room has the highest retention rate out of any room out there. That is why our room has the highest retention rate. We retain the majority of our members. You'll always have drop-offs. Different things in life, different jobs. There's a million reasons. But one thing we don't have is we don't have the revolving door where 100 people are going in and 100 people are going out. It's like 100 people go in and like 10 go out. We have just the highest phenomenal retention rate in the industry. And the reason for that is our traders click. They eventually find the way to click and start making money in our room. So this live opportunity for this course, I've been spending hours designing it today, and I just want to actually share um, some of the things where literally how to decipher. Let me just tell you some of the headlines here. How to decipher and conquer news flow between 9:30 and 4 o'clock p.m. How to decide which stocks to focus on for the day in the pre-market. Um, your diet is a bank account. Good food choices are good investments. The secret to your future is hidden in your daily routine. That's just one of the hundreds of things that this course is going to offer you. Like I said, the point of this course was to create a course where I would pay $10,000 for. So I'm going to keep doing the course, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to ask myself, would I pay $10,000 for this course? And if my answer comes out as yes, it's ready to be released. So I've gathered enough information. This is going to be information and things that I've learned over the past 12 years. I am not releasing a 1,000-page book. I think that would be doing you more of a disservice. Fewer people are willing to read a book than to listen to something online. I think that's really where technology has taken us in the past 12 years. I think libraries are going to become extinct. Whether that makes you happy or sad is irrelevant. I do see like the death of the libraries across America, and if they're not going to die, they're going to have to evolve. That's why you go in a library now and it's full of computers. You notice that? You go in a library, it's like loaded with computers. And the reason for that is everything is changing, everything is evolving. I believe in you, and I believe in our mission, and I believe what we're trying to do here. I believe that trading is such a blessed gift if you can make it click. If you can make money as a trader, I believe there is no better job in the world than being a successful trader. There is no better job in the world than being able to make money in the market. And the way I'm actually structuring it too is I'm teaching you how to I'm teaching you how to be a trader who could trade for the first hour, hour and a half every day. And you can have another job or spend your time with your family. I'm literally designing it because I became a father. And that's what really changed it. You want to know, like, people ask me, like, where did all this change come from, Mark? It's because I became a father. And I have a son. And I want to spend time with him. And I have a very demanding job mentally to run this broadcast here. And I want to spend as much time as I humanly can with him. So I understand and I respect people out there who have a lot of responsibilities, have bills to pay, have things to take care of. And that's why everything here is created. That's why we're doing every single thing possible, so I can do everything in my utmost ability and power to empower you and to bring you to that next level. And that is really why I work here. If I'm not passionate about my job, I can't do it. That's just me. You could offer me $10 million to sit my ass in a closed room with a door shut, and I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm telling you, like, I just wouldn't be able to do it. I'd rather make half that money, and I'd rather just be a full-time trader and run the room. You have to be passionate about what you do. And I feel that all of you guys out there have the passion to be day traders. You want to trade. Even if you're doing another job, a lot of you guys who were day trading and your accounts either blew up or you had to do something else to make more money or you weren't making enough and you went ahead and you took another primary job, you're thinking about the market 24/7. Believe me, I understand what you're going through, and I respect it and I understand it and I appreciate that. And that's why I'm doing everything I can to design a course that will let you sort of bridge those things together, whether you're trading full-time or whether you're trading part-time. Whatever you're doing, I'm going to make that bridge as easy as possible so you could succeed in this market, which has evolved past everybody else. We are going to show you algorithmic analysis. We are going to teach you and show you the wave of the future in trading because we are permeable, we have no egos, and we're ready to evolve with the market. That's what makes us different. 50 episodes of the Newsbeat Show. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and watching these shows and just really enjoying them and just really being part of such a great community project. I put in so many extra hours and, look, I know what everybody told me that I didn't, you don't need to do this stuff. It's not important, people don't take these things that seriously. It takes too much time. It's free and you don't charge people for it, so there's no business logic behind it, but there is. And I understand that helping people and throwing them a hand up before they get to that next level is sometimes one of the most important things that you could do, not only as a trader, but as a human being. And I don't drink alcohol, but I would hold up, sometimes at a party, but I would hold up a pretend ghost glass of whiskey here for 50 more episodes of the Newsbeat Show. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed Newsbeat Show number 50. If you are interested in that course I said and you're interested in taking it live, you'll find a link in the description. And on behalf of me and the entire Newsbeat Live Room, I want to thank you for enjoying the Newsbeat Show. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Show and tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.